So now we're on to part 3 of trying to keep the Humvee cool. Then the other 2 parts I covered replacing the thermostat and the radiator cap. That helped a lot in cold weather. When the weather turned warm, it was still overheating. So the previous video was replacing your grill and increasing airflow to your radiator. And now this third part will be flushing your radiator with a descaler and degreaser, and then trying to get as much gunk out as you can. I also pulled the frost plug and put a block heater in here. While inspecting the inside of the block, there was a little bit of rust and quite a bit of scaling. So this process should help remove a lot of that. As you can see, I've got my thermostat removed right there, and I have a funnel sticking out of the top of the radiator hose. Now you can check the other videos. Removing the thermostat's pretty easy. I won't cover that now. With this coolant flush, it's recommended to put it in the top radiator hose if you're using a reservoir system, and the Humvees do use a reservoir. So dumping it directly into the radiator this way will be a lot more effective. Also, I removed the thermostat, and I'm gonna leave it removed through the process. The reason being, I don't want to damage it. It's pretty much brand new. And also I want to increase water flow through the system to get the stuff working better and to get as much stuff flushed out as I can. If you leave the thermostat in, what you run into is it won't open till you reach 200 degrees. And by that time, you'll already be near the finish or the end of the process, and you won't have ran any flush through your radiator. So that's how it's set up right now. Over here you have the tools, and here is the coolant flush I'll be using. It's Irontite ThoroFlush. I'll leave a link down in the description specifically for this. And what you want to do is you want to mix this with a gallon of water. So I have a gallon of hot water here, and this is a granular substance. So you're just going to dump this in here, mix it in good. Once she's all mixed up and ready to go, you're going to dump this in the top radiator hose, start your vehicle, and run it for 10 to 12 minutes. Then you will shut off your vehicle and flush your radiator and cooling system with regular water till all the red residue is gone. So I'll get started here, and I'll give you an update once I've got the vehicle running and I'm in the process. So now we have the system back together. One thing I forgot to mention is you will want to drain about a gallon out of your radiator. That'll leave room for the solvent to go in. And in the process, because I drained a little bit too much, I'm filling up the reservoir tank right now, which it sounds like it's getting about full. So once you have the reservoir tank full and the system full again, you can start your vehicle and run it for 10 to 20 minutes. As a side note, I did flush out my radiator core, which is back there, and I left the heater valve on high, and I'll be turning the heater on high just to get coolant going through the heater core as well, to flush that out along with the rest of the cooling system. Right now I'm underneath the vehicle, and you can see there is a valve to drain your coolant system on the very bottom hose. Now this takes probably about 10 to 20 minutes if you open up that little valve. What I did, and what I recommend, especially if you're in a hurry, is to pull this heater tube off of the other side. You won't get the best view, but at the other side of the pipe there's the clamp. The valve is down over there, and that will pull the entire rubber hose off, and it'll drain in about 30 seconds. So to give you an idea where I'm at underneath here, I'll scroll around. That is the front passenger tire, and as we come out from underneath, it's right on the other side of that tire there. So one thing I did mention earlier is you're supposed to run it 10 to 20 minutes with the flush in the coolant system. That is wrong. It's 10 to 12 minutes. Once you're done running it 10 to 12 minutes, let your engine cool down, and then dump the fluid out of your coolant system. What I've done is I've ran it the 10 to 12 minutes, I've dumped it, then I filled it full again, ran it, dumped that water out. And now I'm just putting the thermostat in. Once I get the thermostat in with the gasket, I will fill her full of water again, flush it a third time, and probably a fourth before I call it good. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll follow up with a video on how well this works and whether this is a solution or not. So the verdict is I ran the flush, I ran the Prestone flush, and the fan still kicks in. It's a lot better than it used to be, but still not satisfactory. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Any additional information, links to tools or parts that I used will be provided in the description. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day.